No one noticed the man who swept the floor at the city transit office. Every morning at exactly 5:40, he arrived before the doors opened. He wore the same faded gray jacket, the same worn boots with a loose lace, and carried an old thermos that smelled faintly of black coffee. His name tag read Samuel, though most people didn't bother reading it. To them, he was invisible. Employees stepped around him as he mopped the tiles. Some talked loudly over him, others complained when he cleaned too slowly. A few even laughed when he accidentally bumped a chair. One young supervisor once snapped, "Hey mop guy, you missed a spot," without even looking at his face. Samuel simply nodded and fixed it. What no one knew was that this quiet man had once commanded 42 soldiers on a mission so secret it never appeared in any history book. Years earlier, Samuel had been known by a different name. Back then, he was Captain Samuel Rhodes, leader of a classified special operations unit, tasked with missions that officially never happened. His team trained in silence, moved in shadows, and followed orders stamped with red warnings. The mission that changed everything took place in a remote mountain region, deep in enemy territory. Intelligence had failed. A diplomatic convoy was ambushed, and 3 foreign scientists were taken hostage. The situation was explosive international fallout and lives on the line. Official forces couldn't intervene without starting a war, so Samuel's unit was sent instead. They had 72 hours. Samuel remembered the cold wind biting his face as he studied the terrain map by dim red light. He spoke calmly, clearly, knowing every word mattered. "We go in quiet, we bring everyone home." No heroes, no mistakes. They trusted him completely. The mission was brutal. They navigated cliffs under darkness, neutralized guards without a sound, and survived an ambush that killed 2 of Samuel's closest friends. When their extraction helicopter was shot down, Samuel made a decision that would never be written down. He stayed behind. While the remaining team escaped with the hostages, Samuel led enemy forces away, drawing fire and attention to himself. He was injured, captured, and interrogated for days. But he never spoke. Eventually, he escaped on his own, barely alive, half frozen, and changed forever. The mission succeeded. The hostages were saved. The crisis was quietly resolved. Samuel received a medal he was never allowed to show, a commendation he could never discuss, and a handshake from men who told him, "The country owes you." Then they moved on. Civilian life was harder than any battlefield. Samuel carried scars no one could see. Crowded places made his chest tighten. Job interviews were short and awkward. Special Operations Commander didn't translate well into civilian resumes. So he took what work he could, cleaning floors, emptying trash, staying unnoticed, and he was fine with that. Until one rainy afternoon changed everything. A group of officials arrived unannounced at the transit office. Suits, security, and tense whispers filled the building. The supervisor who once mocked Samuel suddenly barked orders nervously. Then, something unexpected happened. One of the officials stopped walking. He stared at Samuel, his eyes narrowing in disbelief. "Sir?" he said quietly. Samuel looked up, confused. The man swallowed hard. "Captain Rhodes?" The room went silent. Samuel hesitated, then nodded once. "That was a long time ago." The official turned pale. He straightened instantly and snapped to attention. "I served under Major Collins," he said. "He told us about you. About the mountain extraction. About how you stayed behind." People stared. The supervisor's mouth hung open. The official extended his hand with both of his. "It's an honor, sir. We thought you were gone." Samuel shook his hand gently. "I'm still here." After that day, everything felt different. People said good morning. They asked his name. Some apologized awkwardly. The supervisor avoided his eyes completely. But Samuel didn't change. He still arrived at 5:40 a.m. He still cleaned quietly. He still carried his old thermos. Because he had nothing to prove. He had already given everything when it mattered. Weeks later, Samuel finally agreed to meet with agency officials. On one condition. No photos. No ceremonies. No speeches. They agreed. The mission files were quietly closed. Families received answers. History remained unchanged, but Samuel felt lighter. One morning, as he finished mopping the floor, a young intern stopped him. "Sir," she said softly, "can I ask you something?" Samuel smiled. "Of course, how do you stay so calm when people treat you like you don't matter?" Samuel thought for a moment. "Because," he said, The loudest victories are often the ones no one ever sees. He picked up his mop and walked away, just another janitor to most. But to those who knew, he was a hero the world would never know.